How you guys doing? This is very important of history. This satellite man and his family was trying to call me their relative as they were holding me hostage. This senator man was trying to hold me hostage, trying to call me his relative as his way of covering up that their people was trying to murder me and that their people was trying to steal my mother and father's estates. Now let's think about what kind of things estate thieves always try to say about a person. They call them crazy. They call them incompetent. They call them stupid. They call them trash. They call them junkies. Basically, these people try to mutilate rich or famous people or accomplished or talented or intellectual people. And these people try to claim that they were smarter and more competent than the person they were trying to steal from. These people trying to steal from me. As if nobody could see through their plot. As if nobody could see through their plans and their schemes and scams. Same thing rapists always try to say. A rapist will try to call a person that's not interested in their type of activity, of sexual aggressiveness of them, or some of those people try to make up racism things on a person that's wealthy. Like somebody say, oh, we'll say, why don't you sell your mother and father's estate? Not allowed to. It's protected by royal law, bloodline history. Not allowed to sell nothing. I'm the owner of everything of my mother and father's estates forever. And then somebody say, oh, you're just racist. No, I couldn't sell anything to my own race. Can't sell anything to any other race. I have to be the owner because I'm the real owner and I'm the rightful owner forever. That's just the facts. Can't sell anything of my mother and father's estates or my grandparents' estates. Never. So in reference to the man, or any man that made up anything racist, those people need to go to court. Those people need to get prosecuted. And in reference to these people, the history and guidelines of estate fraud and education laws, these people, they always try to make up something. Like, for instance, you can get some idiot that gets into government and gets some title in government, then they thought they just run over people's lives. That's why it's interesting to find out what their education is. Did you go to school in America? Did you go to universities in America? What kind of university did you go to? What kind of university did you go to? See, the universities I went to, even when I was a young boy, even when I played piano when I was a little boy, even when I was in performing arts school or film school, it's all documented from when I was little, too. So just the fact of the history of education, the history of accomplishments in Hello, Colorado schools and New York schools and Texas and other schools, friendly acknowledgments. You know, in reference to in Hello, Hawaii and other places where my mother and father had mansions where I went to school and, you know, things like that, you know, basic information. And universities, of course, in Hello, England, France and Italy and other country friendly acknowledgments. You know, in reference to the international laws, you know, those laws should be protecting me from these psychos. I'm not a Christian. I'm Catholic and Jewish. In old Poland and European Jews and European Catholics and American Catholics and international acknowledgments of Catholics and friendly people and guidelines of history. And the satellite man made me burp, excuse me. That satellite man did that. But, you know, in reference to these people, in reference to their scams, you know, I've worked on jobs, you know, waiting tables, been in movies and TV shows too, you know, worked in customer service, waiting on more people as a waiter in like in a period of time than most people could imagine, you know. Always did a good job. Been a chef, been a cook, worked in retail, worked in clothing stores during the time being held hostage. And this government man was holding me hostage in Indianapolis, trying to steal the monies from my accounts that my mother and father had set up for me. Even when I was in California, when I was at my little apartment, these people was blocking me from my mother and father's mansions. So obviously there's something between Indiana and California where there were some criminals in government that have been conspiring against me, and somebody needs to track the information, to track it back to which other places and other cities these people had contact with these criminals that in their organized crime of politics, where they thought they'd try to steal from me, or they'd hold me hostage and they were trying to steal from my mother and father's estates. And the Deeds Department, of course, all the ethnicities and identities of all the people at the Deeds Department has to be on record. And, you know, in reference to laws of protection. Because in reference to the guidelines of ethics and history, it's always important. Like, for instance, if there was German Nazis in the Deeds Departments, they would probably try to steal from me. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would. I don't know. But obviously, there's some kind of problem with people in certain branches of government that are going along with their illegal plot to try to steal land in America, which is illegal. They're damaging teeth. They have no ground to stand on in this country to be using lasers or satellites to be messing up people's teeth. That's a very personal invasion of a person's anatomy. Do you know that, government man? And everything you say, government man, has to be used against you. Do you think you're violating airspace? Think you're violating international airspace protection laws, government man? You're violating a lot of things. You need to go to court, government man. Do you think you have a right trying to steal other people's special qualities, or do you, government man? My teeth are my real teeth. We need all the times that you've ever hit me in the mouth on record, and we need to know the reason why you've been burning my teeth tonight. Why you been burning my teeth? See, and another thing, in reference to your people picking fights, if any of you ever claim that I ever caused any of this situation, first of all, you're going to need to get arrested and put on trial, or you need to get subpoenaed into court. Because people have known where I'm at the whole time, even when I've been in movies or music or TV or whatever. And your people are still making up lies. Why you been burning my mouth and teeth today? Because you wanted me to bitch about you, right? You wanted me to complain about your invasion. You wanted me to complain about your crimes of sexually assaulting me. Because obviously, I don't want nothing to do with your sick ass or your sick psycho fucking freak ways. I'm not your race. I'm not your religion. And you need to go to court. You claimed that you tried to say you were trying to turn somebody gay by fucking up their beautiful teeth that their mother and father made very important in reference to their upbringing and their family history. My teeth are my teeth. You need to go to court. And that's the facts. And you have to get prosecuted. You invaded my life. I never had nothing to do with you. And in reference to conspiring females that have conspired against me, they need to backtrack. They just messed my mouth. They need to backtrack all the people that they had contacts with, that my parents had restraining orders on. And don't forget, if any of these people's names or their family names are on any hate club list, they have to get arrested. These satellite controllers that are burning my face and teeth, they need to get prosecuted. You are violating my anatomy. I am not ever interested in any of you people and your activities of you damaging my face or teeth. I don't even date your race or your religion. And you need to go into court. Government freak. Not messing around with you, man. You're going to sit in prison for a long time. You think you're funny, don't you? See, you can laugh all you want behind bars, but you going around slandering my character, trying to downgrade who I am and the class that I come from. It's all documented. See, you can't make up lies saying, "Oh, you were a poor boy. It came from this poor neighborhood." No. This is the neighborhood they've been holding me hostage in. See, you can't erase my family history. It's protected by the Royal Protocol media information, my identity. You know, I went to schools in different places, and people knew that. Like, Indiana is one of the main places they've held me hostage. They held me hostage in Arkansas a long time ago, too. I got rescued from there, too. And the Teamsters unions and the truck driver unions and the Screen Actors Union needs to file more lawsuits against these satellite controllers. And they need to have them apprehended for violating my truck driving career and violating truck driver companies that I'm the owner of. Might need to start a new truck driving company or something. And these government people trying to steal department stores and grocery stores from me. See what grocery stores I'm the owner of. Oh, and in reference to grocery stores in California, you know, you guys can file lawsuits against these people in Indiana. All the other grocery stores in other cities and states where my mother and father had businesses and mansions or properties, all the cities and states need to file lawsuits, and internationally in reference to other places such as England, France, or Italy, and other places too. They need to file lawsuits against these satellite controllers for their illegal weapons and their activities of trying to torture or trying to murder people in America, and their people mutilating people's teeth. Now, everybody knows that, you know, you violated my supermodel career with your games of damaging my teeth, government man. You think you're funny. Why don't you go stand on stage and say who you are? Come on, man. Why don't you go on stage? Say who you are, government man. So you need to go on stage and you need to say who you are. You're violating my life, government man. You need to go into court, freak. You're messing with my throat. Someone's pushing on my throat. Many things of importance. Your government agents needs to go to court.